Hey friends, thanks for joining me again, and guess what day it is? Today is the day we talk about side hustles, which basically just means side jobs. And the reason I want to talk to you about this is this right here. This is literally all of the money we just recently made with a side hustle that we do most every year, except we didn't do it last year. But I'm going to talk about that one as my example side hustle, but I want to talk to you today about how you can do a side hustle and how you can stack this kind of paper at home. You could stack it for yourself. Of course, my side hustle that I'm talking about is I grow plant starts and then I sell them. I have done extensive amounts of videos on this. I've shown the plant sales the way that I do them. I have done videos on how I start the seeds and all of that. And honestly, I don't believe that this is a side job that will work for everyone. So I want to talk to you about how you can find the one that will work for you to where you can accomplish the same goal. In the previous video, I talked about why this sort of stuff is important and what kind of things that this can achieve. And for us, it's mega, it's huge. So we don't budget for smaller, little expenses, especially when it comes to, frivolous things. And so having extra money that we have in cash around, that's the only way we have money for stuff like this. So we don't budget to eat out. If we're going to eat out, we're going to make some extra money to do it. And so this makes it to where if we have projects around that we want to do, we have to just hustle harder to make it happen. So I am a huge fan of side hustles. The way you first get started is that you just think about what it is that you're good at. Maybe you don't have a green thumb, but maybe there are other things that you're better at. I would never want to do a side hustle as, say, a mechanic, fixing some people's cars. That's not something I'm good at. But maybe that's something that you are good at. Or think about what you have available to you. Maybe you don't have a greenhouse, but maybe you have different kinds of tools or different things that you can do. Maybe you have a chainsaw and you could cut down trees or trim trees. Maybe you have a truck and you could haul some things. We've talked about this sort of stuff before, but just for example's sake, just think about what it is that you're good at, what you like, and what you have available to you now. And all of those things can definitely make for a good side job or a side hustle. Another thing to think about would be to think up or find a problem and then solve it. So for me, the problem was that plant starts are expensive. They are never cheap, and when they do go on sale, they're still expensive. So like this year, Home Depot's plants were, I think, $3.50 each or something like that, and then they went on sale 5 for $15, so $3 each. And so I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, I can do this sort of thing. I can produce these for myself. I can produce these for other people too. And find a problem that society is having or your community is having and then solve it. Because when you find a problem that you can solve, they're going to come to you. You don't really have to, go after them so much. They're going to want to come to you. Once you know what it is you're going to contribute to society or what it is that you're going to be trying to do, this becomes your target market. This is pretty important because it helps you to know how you're going to advertise later on. So the next thing would be to put together a business plan. Even though this isn't going to necessarily be a job you're going to quit your regular job for, maybe at least in the beginning, you definitely want to still put together somewhat of a business plan because there's likely to be things that are going to come up, and you want to make sure that you're addressing everything up front ahead of time so that you know what you're getting yourself into. Are you going to produce a product for someone like I did with my plant starts, or maybe you're going to do a service? And you'll definitely want to define your goal. So for me, when it came to the plant starts, my goal was first obviously to make some money, but also to provide plants for cheaper for other people. When it comes to defining your goal, you can have the same job, but do it differently depending on your goal. So like I said, I've done this, plant start thing, and plant sale for a while now. I actually did a series on how to do it. And one of you guys, a viewer, was inspired, and she decided to go ahead and try and do it for herself. So she started a whole bunch of plants and then she sold them at a plant sale. Well, it sounds like we would probably have the same goal, but we didn't. So my goal was to provide plants for people for cheaper, to undercut the competition and make, gardening more affordable for the people who are on, the lower, income scheme perhaps, or just are more frugal finders. She had an entirely different goal. She wanted to provide all organic plants for people, which can be another thing, for the people who want to have something that's all organic. If you go to the regular big box stores and things like that, they don't have them available. So she found another problem and she solved it, and she definitely had the clientele to back the fact that that was a good business plan as well. So definitely make sure you're defining your goal, because this is going to help make sure that you're choosing the right things along the way, and making sure that you're moving in the right direction and making the right decisions to help you meet this goal. Define what it is you're going to need. This is important. You want to calculate the costs. Putting together your side hustle, your side job, there's likely going to be upfront costs. Even when we were kids and we did the little lemonade stand, there's of course going to be the upfront cost. We're going to need a table, we're going to need a pitcher, we're going to need the lemonade or lemons and then sugar. We're going to need cups to serve it in. There's going to be upfront costs. And so for me, it was soil, seeds, equipment that I get through the Greenhouse Mega Store, the little plant seed pots and things like that. For you, it could be something entirely different. So make sure that you're calculating what the upfront costs are going to be. This is really important to make sure we're not going to get in over our heads financially with this either. And then the last thing would be how. How are you going to advertise? Because this is very, very key. It doesn't matter how good our product is or what kind of services we're offering. If we don't get it in front of the people, to know that we're offering this and that we have this available to them, they're not going to be able to find our product or service to be able to support it. Or be helped by it. So we definitely need to make sure that we're advertising. My favorite way to advertise is on Facebook. And then make sure that you join the sale groups that are in your area. Almost all major cities and even a lot of smaller areas have sale groups. It's kind of like Craigslist where you can sell things and whatnot. These groups have been really helpful to me when it comes to advertising things. So Craigslist is another good one. Word of mouth can be good. In fact, it's very important, especially once you get started, because when people are happy with things, they're going to tell their friends. And then you kind of get referrals that way, and you can help build this little side hustle, this side business. And you'll want to make sure that you offer good customer service. This is really important to making sure that even if someone is dissatisfied, we're going to go out of our way to make sure that it's solved so that we don't end up with someone who's telling everyone else to stay away from us in our side job that we've started instead. So definitely make sure we're offering good customer service. Listen to feedback. Pretty important to have thick skin when it comes to stuff like this, because when people offer criticism, just take it as constructive criticism and that they're trying to help you. So don't be offended easily, and be willing to listen to them so that you can change things up to make it better for them. It's important though to make sure that we start small, especially since we're not entirely sure how the market is going to take the thing that we have. And I definitely made sure to start small, and then I've grown my side hustle over time. It's really important to make sure that we work hard at it. Dedication and reliability go a long way. Don't give up too easily. I think this is really, really common, unfortunately. We've kind of lost the art of patience, that things take time. And I'm having problems with this myself, so I am definitely not talking to all of you first. I'm talking to me first. When it comes to waiting things out and making sure that we're being patient, waiting for things to grow, or working at things, knowing that they are growing, even if we're not seeing the fruit of it right now, knowing that in the future it will be there, it's pretty important. So definitely be patient, keep trying at it. You might be right where you're supposed to be, and even if it's growing and it's growing slowly, know that if it continues to grow, you're going to be at where you want to be soon enough. But definitely make sure that we're looking at things, for objectively, so that if it isn't working, then we can, maybe move in a different direction. So while it's important to be dedicated and hardworking and to be patient, it's also good to know when something isn't working and when to pull the plug on something. So anyway, good luck with your side hustles. I hope that they're successful for you. There are lots of different options out there, which I have talked about in previous videos. This is more of a breakdown on how to put together the plan. That way, whatever side hustle it is that you are working toward can be successful, and you can do this sort of thing yourself and make the extra money that you need in order to be able to achieve your goals. And so in case you were wondering, yes, the greenhouse did very well. I posted a lot of updates on it on Instagram. If you're not my friend on Instagram, I will go ahead and post a link to that below. And in case everyone's wondering why in the world I'm showing all this cash on camera, don't worry, this is probably in the bank by the time you watch this video. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. Go and side hustle away, friends, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.